When we are doing the will of our true self, we are inevitably doing the will of the universe. In magic, these are seen as indistinguishable. That every human soul is in fact one human soul. It is the soul of the universe itself. And as long as you are doing the will of the universe, then it is impossible to do anything wrong.
My name is Revel Rosz, and this is Pragmagick. In this podcast, we will journey through the investigation and application of metaphysical means to enhance and inspire what I consider to be the great unifying purpose of our short human existence, the creative process. And it's my intention to learn and reveal exercises that hex those inner oppressive thought patterns, as well as exorcising those lurking psychic vampires. So join me as I consort the unseen as means for getting the fuck out of creative stagnation. Stagnation that bewitches each and all of us, artists or not.
The person who throws a curse is a hysteric, and the victim is a paranoid.
The following episode, I present to you my conversation with Mr. Anthony Alvarado. He wrote the book on DIY magic, aptly titled DIY Magic. You can find that everywhere. He's also the host and podcaster of The Magic Hour, which if you're in the Portland area, you could hear on X-Ray FM. He's actually got a new book coming out, I believe this summer. The title escapes me, but I will repost my interview with him on The Magic Hour and include all the pertinent links. I think he's tackling politics next. After that, I'm going to give you in full We the Hallowed's first audio sigil. It's a creative 23-minute, 23-second compilation that was curated and stitched together by Mr. Johannes Pontes. You can find the full track at wethehallowed.bandcamp.com. And no need to adjust your headset. You're going to hear it in all of its glory. From bands like Strange Chan, Spare Spells, Sexy Coyote, and some gabbing from some psychic weirdos. So slither hither, weirdos and witches. Here's my conversation with Mr. Anthony Alvarado.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Of course. No, thank you for being here. I think all the guests here tonight are making me look good. So, trying to do this Gordon White thing, asks like the same question to every guest.
Sure, yeah.
Let's start with what was the spark that made you realize there was something beyond this corporal reality?
I think that
Mind talking just a little bit?
the thing that made me realize that there's something beyond this corporal reality there was never a moment of realizing or waking up to that. I think that we're all born aware that this isn't it. This isn't all that there is. That there's more than the corporal reality, more than what we have here. You know that when you're 5 years old. You live in a realm of imagination. You live in a world that dreams and emotions and the poetry, the magic of nature and of your own imagination and head all bleed together because you haven't learned the Descartesian confines of rhetoric and logic, which do a lot. They're useful. You know, I have a iPhone.
For language and communication. Probably.
Yeah, I mean, technology has its place, but at some point, I think in our recent history, we've kind of become disconnected from what was our birthright, which is an awareness, an identity that is in balance with everything beyond just this.
I absolutely agree.
The spirits of the seasons, the spirits of place,
right.
of the genius of Loki, and the archetypal ideas. These are all things that I think we, as human beings in every culture, every continent, have had traditional ways of communicating with and interfacing with non-corporal reality, and that's what we've lost touch with recently.
Maybe we're like sublimating it with the digital ether. Like, is that kind of?
I think that's I think that's really apt. And you know, when you sublimate something, when you try to repress something, it comes back all the stronger for it. And look where we've gotten. What helped Trump get elected? It's coming out more and more. Facebook, Russian trolls on. Not that I want to get into political discussion.
We should.
But that's a great example of what happens when
dumb magic.
When people are disconnected from a more natural way of being.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I've always said that my relationship with mysticism, or especially an idea of God, was at its purest when I was first asking questions. You know. At 5 or 6.
I had a really interesting experience recently right after the eclipse. I went out to the Eclipse Festival in Eastern Oregon.
You did the big one?
Did a lot of LSD. Is that what you're talking about?
What I was talking about?
And
the big festival.
And so for me, a lot of times
LSD
the most interesting part, or one of the most interesting parts of taking psychedelics, is the come down. It lasts for days as you kind of reintegrate into your normal daily life.
Absolutely,
And I was having the most fascinating dreams where I was recalling dreams that I'd had as a child when I was a toddler, and I remember seeing. I had this very amazing dream of this. There was like a scary toy. I'm a Latino background, and there was like a Mexican skull, and it was on wheels, like a toy
sugar skull, like a sugar skull.
Yeah, and I remember having that dream when I was maybe like 7 or 8, and I had forgotten about it for decades, and then to have that same dream again. And realize, wow, I'm reconnecting with something from my childhood.
You broke down a wall.
Yeah.
Or as Daniel Pinchbeck says, break open the head, right?
So, I think, I met Daniel Pinchbeck at that festival.
That's amazing, yeah.
I went up to him and I was just like, hey, man. He's like,
you're rad. I'm on LSD.
Yeah, I like, shook his hand and then was like, that's all. And then
totally.
left.
That's all I can do. I'm a writer too. Hey, how are you?
That was weird.
I wanted to ask you about the inspiration for DIY magic, which I grew up with thinkers and luminaries around, and I've read different, more kind of heady, less like simplistic manuals, easy manuals to break, creative constraints, to get out of writer's block, or to inspire some, creativity and art. But I don't think I've ever come across something just as beautifully whimsical and simple as this. So what made you do it?
It was.
Why did you do this to me?
It was because I was working downtown at a mental health facility I did that for several years in Chinatown, which they're just tearing it down, I heard the other day. It's called the Royal Palm. And I was working there, just, a grunt on the front lines, like serving people soup and cleaning up atrocities
Right.
and like putting out like literally like
Yeah.
some days you'd go into work and people would be like, yeah, well the water came through the ceiling because a guy lit the toilet on fire. And like, how? What? Just crazy stuff would happen all the
That's
time.
not how you get rid of excrement?
And so in this working with the people that live there, a lot of people are having schizophrenic episodes pretty frequently, and
Do you mind if I just...
in helping them out and working with those people, it really made me start thinking about, well, what is it that makes their reality different from my reality, and what is it that makes my reality different or the same to like the consensual common reality that we all, we're able to like, turn left and use a
Right,
car signal,
shared,
and,
agreed upon
work
reality.
through reality. Like, but these people aren't able to do that.
Right.
And
That-
just in thinking kind of philosophically about like what is madness, and
Right,
how
like this shamanistic idea.
Yeah.
Like the old, shamans were probably would be in insane asylums right now.
Mhm.
So
And it-
schizophrenics.
and connecting that to writing fiction and to making music and thinking about art as a sort of a controlled madness, because I have a friend who's a writer who is like, this is the best job.
I'm sorry.
This is the best job that you can have, because you're just making up stories all day. You're just lying.
I
you're
agree.
making up lies.
Yes.
And,
yes. Totally.
But
It's great.
I think that art is a little taste of madness when done right. And so that was the seed to start thinking about what became DIY Magic. And the ideas behind DIY Magic also were taking a lot of stuff that's maybe kind of more philosophical, more academic, and there's often this kind of like dry, musty, like before you can practice magic, you must
have
pass
to do,
through the
There's
32
no such
levels.
thing as a young occultist.
Do not masturbate for 5 years,
Right.
and then you will see the
That's not magic.
the sword of there's just all these weird like levels, and I wanted to try to
Right.
break all that down and say, well, what if you just kind of make it up as you go?
I was going to say that the most, I think, elemental idea of magic would probably be the creation of art. I think that's the most, that's a manifestation. It's,
Absolutely.
bringing thought into action. And so when I look at this, I mean, if people wanted to dig further into the aspects of this book, how do I put this? The points of it are deep, like throughout a lot of different practices, a lot of different theological ideas of mysticism and whatnot. And there was one that stood out on me, and I think that really sings true to this, millennial nightmare I think we're all existing in. And this is Neo-Ludditism. Can you explain what that is?
The basic idea of Neo-Ludditism is, well, I've been like a bicyclist for
Ludditism.
as
forever.
As somebody who loves riding a bike around, that's always been my preferred means of getting downtown or getting across town. And when you ride your bike a lot, you realize this beats the pants off driving around in a car, and on so many levels. It's better for the environment. It's better for yourself. It's better for, if the more, as Portland has embraced bike culture, it's better for the city.
Better for the mind to be uncomfortable to a degree, or to work physically.
And to get a little exercise. And it's just one of these like, okay, we have the car's fancier and newer, but that doesn't make it better.
No.
It'd probably
No, it
be
does
even
not.
more preferable if we could all ride horses around. And
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think there's there's something as organic or tangible as a relationship with your transportation.
Yeah, and my problem with the modern world, or the technology of the modern world, on one level, is just because we have a new technology, we feel like we all have to use it. We all have to jump on board that. Yeah, exactly. And so the idea is to pause and say, well, wait, is it a good idea to have Twitter and Instagram and Facebook
delete
on
your
my
Facebook
phone?
kind of thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Delete your Facebook on your telephone, and
On
it
your-
will save you a lot of time.
Your telephone that is also your television.
It's not really a telephone.
It's also your
an addiction machine.
Yeah.
It's a little. It's a slot machine. It's a LCD slot machine. You push the button.
Yeah.
You like something, and then you get bling bling bling.
Yeah.
And that's an addictive process.
I'm loved.
That's what makes people addicted to slot machines. It's
Yeah.
not really about the money. It's just like triggering that little reward system in your brain that makes you think like, oh, I did something and I got rewarded for
Tinder
it.
is a slot machine.
The rat gets a pellet of sugar.
Right.
You know,
Is that just because
that's what the phone is.
Yeah.
So neo-Ludditism is this idea of like when you look at technology, whether it's a car, whether it's an airplane, whether it's your phone or an app, stop for a minute and think, just because I can, should I? Like maybe I'd be better off not using this. And like so one
it's more organic.
Yeah.
I think a lot of we're so easily how do I put this, absolved of shit because we read something and we think and we post something and we think we did enough.
Yeah.
You know? And I think you're right. Yeah, I think it's
posted a hashtag. Well, I'm an activist.
Shazam.
Yeah. I'm done.
Dumb magic. Yeah. Now people think I care.
No, but I think that we need to question technology, and I'm not saying that. I mean, a real Luddite would be like, smash it with a hammer. There's something to that too.
The ultimate hipster.
Like a friend of mine, Peter Bauer. He's also goes by Urban Scout, and he's into this idea. Like, look, the fucking world's ending.
Yeah.
So get ready, y'all. Like, learn how to eat squirrels.
Right.
And
learn how to surf
make
glaciers.
your own like bows and arrows and baskets and
learn
stuff.
how to build tree houses.
And that's that's pretty radical.
That's brilliant. I love it. Yeah. And but I think there is a big momentum here.
I also think if you kind of can introduce yourself to some of these ideas and find a balance, like riding a bicycle. I'd love to be riding a horse around Portland, but there's probably laws against it. Then you can bring balance to your life,
right?
And you can also bring balance to your life by unplugging from your fucking phone once in a while. Like something that I try to do once a week. I have a day that I don't let myself use the internet. I try not to use my phone for anything except texting people like, "Hey, where you at?" But I just stay off social media and stay off the internet.
I was going to ask you,
full day.
Like, what are some of the daily rituals that you? I mean, not only to incite creativity, but to kind of just churn those psychic gears,
Daily rituals?
Sure, or something. I guess something pretty elemental.
Other than a daily ritual of doing some yoga in the morning and
it keeps coming back to yoga.
Being addicted to coffee, large amounts of coffee. I don't have daily rituals because for me a ritual is often something that I call upon when I need it. Like with tarot, I feel like if I started my morning every day with tarot, it would kind of dampen the message a little bit. So I use it when I'm stuck. I'm like, I don't know which direction to try to go with this.
Right.
Then I'll do a tarot spread and get new ideas. So I like to save my rituals for when I really need them, I guess.
Because it's also the psychological thing of, if you put a lot into a ritual, if it's magnanimous, you're going to remember it. It's going to be stuck in the forefront of your brain, We're talking about the eclipse. I did one there that I'm still reeling from.
Or even psychedelics, like, there's a point where you could be like, whoa, magic mushrooms are cool. I'm going to eat them every single day. Then
talk real quick about, like, my experience with psychedelics. I'm an extreme kind of person, so when I had the ability to do a lot of psychedelics, I did them. No matter how
you don't still have the ability to do a lot of psychedelics?
I'm pretty sure I'm broken. But I started getting addicted to coming down and to realizing this shared reality isn't a fucking nightmare comparatively to, the depths of my shit. So I think, like, when you're doing stuff you're having to deal with every day, especially just the motivation of creativity, which I hope everyone is creative in some aspects. And this book really is just a beautiful manual, and I can't believe that you're like proximity to me.
Oh,
like, this is what's great about Portland. Let's talk about the next one. The next book.
The next book. Well, I don't want to talk too much about the next book yet because it's not coming out for a while. It's coming out in spring. It's called DIY Resistance, and it's basically a fuck you letter to Trump. It's ways that people can take action against the tyranny of evil, really, just a terrible, awful administration that's doing a lot of damage across every front. We're dealing with new levels of racism, misogyny, sexism, damage to the environment. We might go to war and get into a nuclear. It's just insane what's going on. So that's what I'm working on right now, as far as writing. But as you know, it's very different than DIY magic in some ways.
Know.
But it's also I think that
this isn't just call your congressman. This is
it's that and
right,
more. It's,
but I think
communal. That writing a book. What is writing? Writing is like mental telepathy. When you read a book, you can read
or vomit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can edit it to make it a little more.
We're different, but
it's good. It's an attempt. I think it can be a very magical thing. You're attempting to rewire the way people think and get into the head of the zeitgeist a little bit. Yeah.
Collective conscious kind of.
Another thing that I'm working on right now, actually, I just recorded recently this thing that I'm calling psychedelic affirmations, and it's a lot of fun. It's kind of a spoken word, like Gil Scott-Heron.
Really?
Yeah. Imagine you're listening.
The revolution will be DIY.
Yeah. Imagine that you're listening to a guided yoga nidra type thing, and it's telling you to relax, and then it just gets really fucking weird.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're tripping balls.
Beat the shit out of your inner child.
I'm trying to make a sort of a audio acoustic psychedelic.
Brilliant. Yeah. Trying to go the Nuggets version of the who is it? The Big Lebowski, Jeff Bridges kind of meditation tape.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Yeah.
With music, I recorded the first version of that last week with a bunch of friends, and at first they didn't get it, but I was like, okay,
Story of my life.
Play through do the different, we had a guy on banjo with all these loops and some synthesizers.
And you're conducting. You're just
it was okay, now you build up here, and
so it's audiomancy.
It's a lot of fun, and it's audiomancy.
Yeah. I'm
hoping to put that on once. I'd like to do maybe a 3-part thing with that and do some shows with it. I want to do a show with that at Spaceness, which is a cool thing that happens on the coast at the Southwester. I think in the spring, and who knows, maybe here at the Waypost. So
this is the if you need any help, I'm sure.
Yeah,
the lot of us would love to be a part of it.
Hey, I need a drummer. My drummer just quit. So.
Call me in a couple weeks. I got you. Oh, Anthony, thank you so much, man. You're such a light in my journey.
On the show.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, everyone. Anthony Alvarado. Oh, wait. Sorry, sit down. I'm really bad at this. We talked last time, I think I was on your podcast, and we talked about Austin Osman Spare and Sigilism. And so I got you a book, and it's The Writings of Austin Osman Spare. And it's out there, man. I think you have
to jerk off a lot.
Right? I think there's a lot of jerking off, but into nothing. If that makes sense. But also, it's just beautiful writing. Talks about the neither, which I consider the collective unconscious to a degree. And I thought, as a scholar, maybe I could give you something you haven't read before.
I haven't read this legally.
Oh, well, that's
online.
Yeah, that's. I think it's a Canadian pressing. So
cool.
Hide it.
This is awesome. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you, man. Appreciate it so much.
This here Pragmagick podcast is brought to you by Portland, Oregon's open source art religion and Pragmagick art collective, We the Hallowed. For more information, please visit WeTheHallowed.org or support these fine, pious individuals at patreon.com/WeTheHallowed. Remember, that's hallowed like saintly. HALLOWED. Thank you, and haunt on.
Oh, and don't about whom you've just heard. Leave the burnt city and go searching for buried treasure. And in their search for buried treasure, you come across the pirates. The head of the pirates is Pussy, king of the pirates. And what I'm going to tell you now is just part of the story, the beginning of the story of how she became a pirate. Childhood ended when Pussy learned that she was pregnant. She met her gynecologist for the first time on the day of the abortion. Since he was sporting a ponytail, she decided that he must have once been hippie. She was high on the pills that they had fed her. The doctor and Pussy blabbed for an unknown amount of time about the nature of poetry, and then Pussy asked when her abortion was going to begin. The hippie answered that it would soon be over. She felt a twinge, which was almost painful. The abortion was over. Just before the end of this world, Pussy hadn't found a thing. There's no master narrative or realist perspective to provide a background of these social and historical facts. 2 weeks after the abortion, Pussy returned to the clinic for her routine checkup. A nurse practitioner who might have been the first one informed her that she was still pregnant. I don't feel pregnant. Someone had even buried child after they've had a termination, but we're not sure you're still pregnant. Pussy asked when they might know positively what she was. She or her body was confused. Why don't you relax for 2 weeks? Forget that any of this happened. You'll probably get your period before the end of 2 weeks, so you'll know for sure that you're not pregnant. The time of possibility was delayed in these 2 weeks. During this time, the nurse practitioners and the doctors who seemed to the beach speculated that Pussy might have a tubal pregnancy. 2 weeks passed. No period was anywhere to be found. So they decided to test her to find out if anyone or part of anyone was living inside. They photographed the insides of the uterus. Photos showed uterine insides. But the quality of the photos was poor. They, and in this world they, always means medical. Then extracted blood from Pussy. Blood told them that Pussy was pregnant. This means, one of the nurse practitioners explained to the female, that you might be pregnant and you might not be. If you are pregnant, we don't know where. She hesitated. It's hiding. She consulted the calendar. If it's hiding inside a tube, that tube by now should be broken, so the tube must be about to break. He says, Pussy was in that state when January was stupidity. Tonight, or at any other time something would come out, but he didn't know what it was. In order to find out what it was, they were going to extract more blood from Pussy. In a few days, the new blood would be able to talk to them. The blood announced to everyone that Pussy was no longer pregnant.
Yelling, angel, we turn at sea. As night hath stars, more rare than ships in ocean, faith I roam, what the Hansa. Yes, sir. As night hath from yes, sir. At sea. As night hath stars, more rare than ships in ocean, vision I roam, more rare I roam, more rare I roam, more rare I roam, what the Hansa. Yes, sir. At sea. As night hath stars, more rare than ships in ocean, faint from here to an vision I roam, what the hath stars, more rare, what the Hansa. Yes, sir. At sea. As night hath stars, what the Hansa. Yes, sir. At sea. As night hath stars, what the hand of her lips, here to an vision I roam, what the Hansa. Yes, sir. At sea. As night hath stars, what the Hansa. Yes, sir. At sea. As night hath stars, at sea. Yes, sir. At sea. Yes, sir. At sea. At sea. 3 hymns for man. At sea. As night hath stars, more rare than ships in ocean, faint from pole to pole, so all the wonder of her lips in her innavigable soul. Such light she gives as guide my bark, but I am swallowed in the swell of her heart's ocean, sagely dark, that holds my heaven and holds my hell. In her I live, a most minute dancing moment in the sun. In her I die, a sterile shoot of night shade in oblivion. In her myself dissolves, a grain of salt tossed careless in the sea. My passion purifies my pain to peace, past personality. Love of my life, God grant the years confirm the chrism, rose to mood, anointing love, asperging tears in the sanctifying solitude. Man is so infinitely small in all these stars, determinate maker and molder of all. Man is so infinitely great.
was a lie.
Never
ghost alive house. In between the static of a perfect picture is the past, is the future, is the
unseen atmosphere caught up in the snare, existing neither here, existing neither there. Can't sense the feeling, bias isn't there. Apathy is excess, and luck is always fair.
Just where we all went wrong. What kind of crazy creature solves their problems with a gun? Modern mother lost her mind, blindly threw her babies on the bridge. Without a care for consequence, guess she just got tired of the kids. Or maybe she can't stand to bear the future they'll have to face. Of course it's just a cop-out. She can't stand the human race. I am just a modern man, living in the world without a plan. Just like a rabbit in a cage.
Thanks again to Mr. Anthony Alvarado. I will make sure to let everybody know the title of his upcoming political book. I'm sure it's going to be a good one. And yeah, thank you for checking out the continuous 23-minute, 23-second experimental audio sigil that was curated by Johannes Pontes and full of We the Hallowed associated acts. For more information, visit wethehallowed.org, and you can find that audio sigil at wethehallowed.bandcamp.com. Thank you to Johannes Pontes for slaving away and getting that 2323 cornered. I mean, it's quite brilliant. And please investigate We the Hallowed. It's the little art collective that could and does and will, and I'm very proud to be a part of it. What started as a fever dream has now turned into this, brilliant circus of disparate individual artists connecting, supporting, pushing, and experimenting with the weird. Visit us at wethehallowed.org. This is the part where I tell you to go to our Patreon, patreon.com/WeTheHallowed, where you can sign up, subscribe for as little as $1 a month to get this podcast, future episodes before they're released publicly, Q&A sessions with guests, zines, compilations, and individual members' works of art, as well as their records. And please, by all means, investigate and support this collective. But more importantly, if you fancy yourself a serious student and prey teller of the confluence between metaphysics and art, well then get at me. Pragmagick@gmail.com. And hell, maybe you'll get on the podcast to spin your yarn, tell your trick, or publish an article at pragmagick.com. Or hell, we might just even become friends.